By far the biggest news of the offseason came as quite a shock for most people, me included. I don't follow contract updates that closely. I'm not super nerdy in the deep recesses of the disc golf internet to figure out who goes where and when. But when something like this happens, it shocks a lot of us. There's signs, there's rumors, but when Eagle McMahon makes a change like this, the disc golf world stops for a moment to think, what the f*** is going on? As the disc golf season has ended, players' contracts have been re-signed, some have moved on to new companies, others have decided to move towards the open bag route. But the big names we were looking at were not Eagle McMahon. It was Gannon Buhr. Since he was sued by Prodigy and kept for the rest of 2023, once the season had ended, we were all waiting. His story goes hand in hand with Eagle's, but this is just to set the stage. The real news started with Discmania themselves. The Vault, a way for Discmania to periodically open up old discs and make them available for a limited time to consumers. In December, they did just that, and Eagle had quite a few discs among this Vault release. That was clue number one, and it did get people talking. But Eagle himself would open up the rumors much worse. Just briefly, for just a moment, a video would pop up on Eagle's YouTube channel with the title of Goodbye Discmania, but then it was taken down. The Vault opening and Eagle's YouTube mishap would result in anyone who was paying attention to believe he was leaving. And then this happened.
Hello everyone. As you can tell by the title of this video, I am leaving Discmania. And before I say anything, I want to preface this with thank you, Discmania.
Eagle and his journey with Discmania had come to an end. Just a year ago, we were in the same spot when Simon left Discmania, and that news was quite shocking. For Eagle, though, he seemed to have fumbled it in kind of a funny way.
I uploaded it private, think everything's fine. The issue was I put it on a playlist that was public.
Yes.
That's how it got out. But it was still listed as private, but I sent it over to Simon because I wanted to get his opinion, so I had to put it to unlisted. So there's like this weird loophole where there's an unlisted video on a public playlist. So like three people saw it. You can find it.
Yeah.
Discmania trying to dump off all the old Eagle discs that they had didn't help either, but it is what it is. Now, after this very heartfelt announcement, and I do mean that, he had spent his entire professional career with the Shield, winning majors and pro tour events, countless vlogs, and funny moments. Eagle was one half the picture of the company, and then for 2024, it kind of seemed like it was just him. But he was showing up less and less in videos, giving time for others in Discmania to shine. Anyways, at the time, we were all thinking about the same thing. Where is he going to go? What are the options? Who's going to pay out a superstar contract that Eagle would take to get him away from Discmania? Well, MVP has Simon, so maybe a reunion there. Discraft is big, maybe they want some Eagle with their Macbeth. Innova only has Calvin, but would they fork up the money to afford Eagle? Dynamic possibly, that would be a fun combo for Eagle and Ricky. But it was all speculation. One of the funnest parts about being a fan, guessing what's going to happen for these guys. For Discmania, they would come out with the final Cloudbreaker for Eagle. One last mold, one last stamp for maybe my favorite disc series of all time, and one of the most famous in the sport. The Cloudbreaker has been the staple for Discmania as a brand, and with Eagle leaving, they decided to chuck one more out there to commemorate his journey with the company. But as Discmania signs on Alden Harris and Gannon Buhr, a little bit of limbo is settling in for Eagle's storyline. When was the announcement going to come for his next big contract?
I got the wrong box. Where are the pixels?
Right over here.
Well, bam, Eagle to MVP discs, with partner in crime Simon Lizotte as a part of his announcement video. Honestly, it was a pretty solid way that they did this. I mean, most of us were betting on this happening, but now it has become a reality. Eagle McMahon signs a 5-year contract with MVP discs. Theorized by some as this: for MVP, they have 3 branches. James Conrad to be the face of MVP, Simon Lizotte used as the promoter of Axiom discs, and finally the most underperforming aspect of the company, Streamline discs. MVP discs with no overmolds. And Eagle, McMahon, will be the face for the streamline. Now that might not be the case, but just like with theorizing where players are going to go, it's fun to put them into certain categories. The Eagle has landed MVP disc sports, slowly just bleeding the star talent from Discmania. All jokes, don't worry, but actually still a little salty. For my actual criticism though, yeah, I kind of wish MVP would make it their own thing. The reunion is cool, but don't just take what another brand has helped build for almost a decade. Don't redo the Crush Boys. If you're going to have Eagle and Simon back together, make a new, fresh start for both of them. Eagle said in an interview that he was the one who created Crush Boys and that it was with him and Simon, which is fair, but Discmania does have stamps for the Crush Boys, and it's just so tied in with the brand. Of course, do a combo of some sort, but just change it up a bit. Another thing to consider, and what may have played a factor in all of this, is Eagle's battles with injuries. We've seen him off and on for the past few years now, and in 2024, Eagle said we won't see him fully, possibly until Champions Cup. There's one cool thing to look at for him though, is that he has earned a place on the All-Star team, and he's going to play at that at the start of the season, but he plans on doing so left-handed, and putting regularly. I'm actually excited to see if he can keep up at all with fully lefty, but the injuries off and on are important. And Eagle has shifted his diet as well to counter some of the problems he's run into. Given time, I'm rooting for him to return. Healthy, fully on the tour, that's best for everyone. But for MVP, his start to the new company will be a bit delayed. One more thing. Why is this Team Series disc just another Envy? Not gonna lie, MVP had a chance to showcase something else other than an Envy. Feels like you guys have two discs, the Envy and the Hex. Those two take up most of the limelight. Why didn't Eagle and his new stamp get put on a distance driver? He throws far, Conrad has the Envy, I don't know, I was hoping to see something different. It's a cool stamp, but come on, show us something different other than the old Envy. What do you guys think about this entire situation as a whole? Did Discmania win by getting Gannon and Eagle leaving, or did MVP win the offseason? Will the long term benefit these guys, or are we going to look back at this 2023-2024 offseason as a really funny few signings? Comment down below, and we will see you guys next time. Cheers.